All right, family. We black once again with another powerful presentation. I'm glad you're in the house with the general. We got a very intriguing topic today where we dealing with secret names of Viking gods hidden in the days of the week. Okay, a lot of people might not know that, but there are deities that you are calling on that you may not know you're calling on, but you're gonna know today. You're gonna know today secret names of Viking gods hidden in the days of the week. Before we get started, family, I want you to check me out on my Patreon. You already know what it is. We got over 500 exclusive live streams you cannot see anywhere else. You already know the general off the chain. And when you want some too raw for you too, then you got take a trip to my Patreon link right there in the chat. Also, kingseti.com online marketplace, official General SETI products, t-shirts, hoodies, DVDs, over 50 classic DVDs you cannot see nowhere else. And I'm talking classic. Also, African and Kemetic jewelry. Get over there, get you something nice. You can become a member of my YouTube page, gain access to exclusive videos, perks. Check it out. Click the membership tab on my homepage and get a video a thumbs up. Like it because you love it. Share with your family and friends and comment, comment, comment. Just don't say nothing stupid because you will get banned. Here we go. Secret names of Viking gods hidden in the days of the week. Now, this is very important because a lot of people say, how religious they are, and that they don't call on no other gods other than the God that they believe in. They say they believe in anyway, whether it be Jesus, it be Allah, Yah, well, how they say Yahoshua. Yahoshua, you know what I'm saying? And all the other, they say that, and that's the only God they believe in. But I can tell you, every day you're calling on another deity. Every day, when you call on the months, you're calling on other deities, and y'all. Some of you don't know, but you're gonna know today. And so, who are these Viking gods that are being called on when you call on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, but most definitely Saturday through Tuesday through Saturday. Okay. And the other days too. So you might as well just go and throw them on, and you can't leave no day out. Can't leave no day out. You feel what I'm saying? And so let's tap in and see who these gods is. Okay, let's tap in and see who these gods is. Now, let's tap in. Let's go all the way in. Okay, let's go all the way in. Let me get you in the house, family. I don't want you to say, it didn't show me no documentation. Nah, you ain't gonna do me like that. I'm gonna make sure I get this documentation up there for you, family. Make sure I get this document. Black power to all my family out there. Yeah, black power. Let me get it up on the monitor so we can walk about it and talk about it. We want to walk about it and talk about it. Okay, we in the house. We in the house. Okay. So it says the days of the week mostly came from a blend of ancient Greco-Roman planetary gods and Germanic Norse gods in English. Okay, other cultures map them differently, but this is the system behind the modern Western week system. So you could go probably in other countries, and you're not gonna get the Nordic names of the week. You're not gonna get the days of the week. You ain't gonna get it. These are primarily Nordic Viking gods, except for Saturday, which is Saturn, which is the Roman king. Where he was used to be the king of the gods, but he's still one of their most prevalent and powerful gods. You see, one of the Saturn. And so now let's rock out. Let's deal with it. We in the house, family. Stay with me. Okay, I'll give you the English tradition, the Greco-Roman planetary gods, and 3 brief African Kemetic contexts so you can see the contrast. So they starting to tap in with me now, because they automatically knowing I'm into the Kemetic, and so it's tapping in to me and saying, knowing that I'm already, but I want to know what's going on with the Kemetic understanding. Okay, which we'll see if it know anything about that. Okay, gods and goddesses of the week. So we got Sunday, named after the sun. In the Greco-Roman, it was Sol or Helios. Helios. In Monday, the moon day, you got Luna or Selene. Okay, Luna or Selene, Roman or Greek. Okay, now here we go. So even Monday and Tuesday, even though it's Sunday, Monday, they took the Greco-Roman name out of there. Okay, but that's very interesting that they left Saturn in there, because Saturn is that primordial chief god amongst all Europeans. They venerate Saturn, no matter where they at on the planet. The Europeans venerate Saturn. He's their primordial chief deity. Okay, and many of these, all the rest of these other gods are archetypes of Saturn. Let's work. Now, Tuesday, TYs. I told y'all about TYs. Tyr, TYR. Okay, God of war and justice. So when you call on Tuesday, look how it jumped me all the way. I hate when I do it. So there you go. It just jumped me up a little bit. Okay, TYs. Okay, God of war and justice. So when you call on Tuesday, I just want you to know who you calling on. See, Tuesday is named after TYs. You see the TIW and Tyr, that's who you calling on. So I know you say, I don't call on no other gods but Jesus. I don't call on no other God but Jesus. That's a lie. That's a lie. You call on TYs on Tuesday. Yes, you do. Wednesday is for Woden. You see, wood, they come out them forests. You see, come out them forests, bear skins on their back. Odin, wisdom and magic. Okay, a Nordic Viking god. So when you call on, you say, I don't call on no other god but Allah. Allah Akbar. Allah Akbar. You see, that's all y'all. Allah Akbar. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. You see, call on Odin, you call on Woden, you call on Wednesday. Yes, you do. See, you call on Thursday, Thor the thunder god. Okay, another Viking deity. And you see, we surrounded with, and it's one thing. If you know it, then you take the power out of it. You see, you can take the power out of it. You see, you could do that. And that's the one thing about knowing. Knowing is half the battle. Doing is the other half of the battle. Okay. And so once you know this, then you take the energy out of it. Some of y'all don't care because a lot of the same veneration is in this time of the year, which is really Yule, because ain't nowhere in the Bible. These is people's over in Africa and over in the damn desert. You understand? Somewhere, between Mesopotamia and Africa. Ain't no snow, ain't nothing. So all of these traditions that y'all are so invigorated and so deeply venerating and things of that nature, and you admire so deeply, far beyond any tradition of your own people. You understand? You don't care. You're all right with it. You're all right with it. So, and Friday, Frigga, or Fraser, which is I know it was Venus. When in the months, Frigga, which is Friday, would have been Venus. Thor would have been Mars. Odin would have been Mercury, Hermes, and T-Wise, I believe, I had to tap back in. I had to tap back in and see. English is unique because it replaced Roman gods with Norse ones for several days. Okay, so when you tap into them other places, they might still got the Roman gods. Okay, so or original Roman, Greco-Roman planetary system. Okay, so Sunday was Sol, Helios, the Greek equivalent Helios. Okay, Monday moon, the Roman god was Luna, and the Greek equivalent was Selene. Okay, Tuesday, okay, I was wrong. Was Mars. The Greek equivalent is Aries. So this was coming out of the Roman Empire. This was what the early Britons, they was first on the Roman, okay? And then they started to replace, once Rome fell out of power and the Vikings came in and took over Britain, then they began to adopt the Viking names, okay? They begin to adopt. So Tuesday would have been Mars and the Greek equivalent Aries. Wednesday is Mercury. As I said, and the Greek Roman is the Roman god, and Hermes is his equivalent, Greek equivalent. Thursday, Thor is Jupiter, Zeus. I should have known that. I don't know where my mind was. The thunder god. So Zeus, Thor would have been Jupiter, Roman, or Zeus, and Friday would have been Venus, and the Greek equivalent is Aphrodite. And so Saturn would have been Saturday, Saturn, and the Greek equivalent would have been Chronos. Now, Romance languages preserve this clearly. So you see French now. See that? See, that's very interesting as we begin to tap in. Let me pull this up so y'all see this. So we learning something today. Now you see up there where it say French, right? And it says Mars. You see Mars. You see what it say? It say Mardi. You see, very similar to Mardi Gras. Is that right? Mars. Huh? Ain't that what it is? So I guess so when you go into the days of the week, when you go in the French, which is a romantic language, you see that we're gonna have to tap into you see that Mardi, would you get Mardi Gras? Mardi Gras. You see, so you can see right there, we didn't tap into something. A portal opened up right there. I didn't seen it. And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna jump through that portal. I'm gonna jump right through that damn portal right there. Portal popped up. You feel me? See how I tap? See, when you go to search and I say, let me tap into something, and look what happened. We done tapped into a portal. It's another portal I'm gonna jump through right there. Mars. So we gonna see right there, and then you see Jupiter, and you see what is that? Judy? Is Judea, Judy. We're gonna have to check out that. We're gonna have to break some of these down. Mercury, Mercury, no, that's Mercury. And then we'll get it. I'll put it up there and get the pronunciation. I'll get the pronunciation. So everywhere else where there's the romantic languages, they kept the Roman. They kept the Roman. You see, they kept the Roman. So when it comes to the Kemetic, though, it said the Kemetic didn't use a 7-day week. they use they use 10-day weeks, deacons, and that's true. I seen it myself. I seen it myself on the wall. Okay, so they did. They used the 10-day week. Astronomical star cycles. Days were tied to Neteru, okay, solar, lunar, and stellar forces, not planetary weekdays. Okay, so we'll tap into that deeper because this is just a brief understanding of the Greco-Roman and Viking names of the week, and we'll tap into the Kemetic on a different level. However, late Greco-Roman Egypt, the Ptolemaic period, adopted the 7-day system. So they came in and they did some craziness. They went and tampered with the ancient system. And that's where you get the 7-day, possibly symbolic associations later, not original. So sun would have been Ra, the moon would have been Thoth or Khonsu, Mars would have been Sekhmet. This is what they saying. We're not gonna go, with everything that they say though. Okay. Mars would have been Sekhmet. Mercury is Thoth. Okay, Tahuti. We're gonna put all that Thoth. Tahuti, Khonsu. Jupiter would have been Amun. Venus would have been Hathor, and Saturn, Ptah, Osiris, time cycles. And so we know Saturn is also a god of time, father time. And so when you look at the New Year's, that's Saturn, father time. These are analogies, not original Egyptian weekdays, okay? So African and diaspora systems, you got the Yoruba, Akan, a Congo, often named children by day of birth. Okay, often named children by day of birth. Days associated with Orisha, Abosom, not planets. Okay, Orisha. So the days associated with Orisha, not planets. These systems are indigenous, not derived from Rome. Okay, not derived from Rome. Okay, so the bottom line is clear. The 7-day week, Greco-Roman astrology, English weekdays, Roman gods plus Norse replacements. Ancient Egypt did not originate the weekday system. African systems existed independently and different. Okay, so I just wanted to tap in on that to show, family, that we got our own systems. Yeah, we got our own systems. You feel me? And so instead of, if you understand, I know it's hard for people to just stop, but you can start making. If you start now, you can master both systems. And when it ain't necessary for you to use the Greco-Roman Viking terminology, you should tap back into your leave that shit where you at. If you at work, you're in public and things, and people ain't gonna understand your concept of your Africanness, and trying to separate yourself from the oppressor's culture. Then you use that, but then when you come home, you go into your own culture and consciousness and begin to tap into some Kemetic, begin to tap into the Orisha system. You see, anything because it's your people's, it's sacred, it's divine. Okay, and you begin to empower yourself and your spirit because these are your ancestors. And once you begin to tap in and begin to venerate your ancestors and see how more powerful you can become doing that, in itself, it's a win-win situation. You see, it's a win-win situation for you as a black man and woman. I appreciate y'all coming out here, working with the general. This is, and I'm liking, because we got straight to the point. We're not here to lollygag. We ain't gonna have we just gonna get straight to the point with the information. But I will tap into that Marty, which is Mars, and we're gonna find out what's really going on at the Mardi Gras. Yeah, we're gonna tap in. Let me see if any family out there, that's right. We're in the house, family. Say DC comic books back in the store around my way. Okay, okay, okay. So check it out, family. We be right back. Make sure y'all tap in over at Patreon, KingSeti.com, memberships on the YouTube, and we'll be. Yeah, that is crazy that they put yeah, they did put some, I didn't like the fact that they put Sekhmet on Mars and things of that nature. That just, that kind of threw me. But anyway, family, I'll be right back. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black power.